Good morning, guys. This is Issues with Taddy One Skip. It's Sunday, and I'm back again. You know what, guys? I want to talk to you about what if we're wrong. We're supposed to, there's so much to the Gypsy Rose thing, just the night of the crime, where some people call it an incident. It's not an incident, it is a effing crime. It is murder. That's what it is. And it's worse because it's murder of the person's mom, an obese woman, a woman that can't defend herself. She can't just like pop out of bed and, nope, she can't. Guys, you know, if we're to believe Gypsy, right? Which I don't know who would, but if we're to believe Gypsy, then the crime was committed on the 15th, on the 10th, right? But there's days that she says the crime was committed on the 9th, right? Guys, there's like a 4-hour difference. And in 4 hours, Nick's an innocent man. But at the end of those 4 hours, Nick's not. In other words, if we believe Gypsy, and again, here's somebody who has lied over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. Yet we're going to believe because she says so. And I get that Nick says so, but wait, she says so. That Nick unalived her mom. And in order for that to happen, it had to be on the 10th. But she and Christy often talk about the 9th. If Gypsy did this on her own, right? If Gypsy just poked around, because we know how Gypsy is, isn't that more her personality? I'm serious. Would it surprise you? It would surprise you, actually, in my opinion. The majority of the people that follow me on or subscribe to me, in my opinion, it would surprise you if she didn't do it. It wouldn't surprise you if she did it. If she did it all on her own and Nick unalived an unalive person, I think that's what most of us believe anyway. But he's doing time, life, because he says, after being brainwashed by Gypsy, and it was for 2 years, remember? And then Gypsy had people on her side that didn't want to put somebody who looked like Gypsy away. Like, right? Because she was going to get the death penalty. It was up for the death penalty, that crime. But it didn't look good. It didn't look good. And when Mike Stanfield started coming out with this bullshit, I don't know whose idea it was. Was it Dan Patterson to say, hey, man, I just, let's like, this isn't going to look good. People are going to be all over my shit with her high pitched voice, her no teeth, and the fact that she's, looking like maybe there was something up there. Oh well, we'll figure this out. We'll figure but somebody's got to pay the price, right? I think there's a lot of deals being made like that now. Again, hate to bring it up, Jen Soto, Maddie's mom, offered up her daughter. She's walking the streets just fine, right? Just walking the streets just fine. There's a woman that can't tell us where her daughter is. She left with her daughter. And I think she has an ankle monitor for something else, not where her daughter is. False imprisonment for somebody else, I believe, right? So, but she's not willing to answer where her daughter is. Oh. Come on. I think that our justice system is broken. And as long as we get somebody to pay the price, it doesn't matter if they actually did it or not. That's my feeling about that. Anyway, according to Gypsy, I mean, if you look at the text messages, Nick would have walked in on somebody who was asleep, very difficult to wake up. According to Gypsy's text messages, I gave my mom the sleeping pill. She didn't give her mom shit. There was nothing in her system, nothing in Dee Dee's system. Now, see, that I believe because Gypsy's that dark. But I don't know much more that I believe about that autopsy. 17 jabs, okay. But, I mean, was it done on that bed? All of it? Or did she try to get up on that bed and finally got up on that bed? Because let me tell you something. If she died somewhere else, it would have taken, and I don't mean to be mean, a crane to move her. She was an obese woman. Gypsy didn't move her. Nick wouldn't have moved her. Another two people would have been tough to lift her. So it might have started somewhere. And then she got on the bed. Maybe some superficial stabs might have started somewhere. And then she got on the bed. And every day, Gypsy just poked more and more because she's dark like that, like I said. 4 hours, and Nick wasn't there. I believe wholeheartedly Gypsy did this, and Nick got set up for it. Because it doesn't fit with her personality to not. She got off on this. She had sex in the room after it happened. She wasn't disgusted by it. The Barney doll. I already put a video out there how Nick responded to the Barney doll. Now, I think that's where Nick lied. Said no. First, he was like, yes, with conviction. And then he was like, wait a minute, let me, no. He only did that a couple times during his interrogation. And both times, I believe Gypsy's voice came into his head to set the record straight. So Nick wasn't really trying so much to remember things per se, as much as he was trying to remember a script that Gypsy gave him. I think Gypsy convinced him of what he saw that night. But I don't think that Nick unalived Dee Dee Blanchard. He might have put her out of her misery, maybe. But I think Gypsy was playing Jabby Mommy, and she was enjoying it. There was something that I read that said that Dee Dee'd been suffering for days. And a few of you have said, Toddy, that autopsy, like I said, that autopsy's not right. That autopsy's missing things. 4 hours. And Nick wouldn't have been there. Dee Dee was found 5 days later. Nobody can tell you when, how, where, what. No. No. Why were there questions about X for Dee Dee? Why were they asked if Dee Dee was violated? Are you sure you didn't lick her or anything? Remember all that? Are you sure that we're seeing the correct autopsy and maybe nothing's missing? I don't know. That's a question. I don't know if we'll ever get the answer to that question. I'll tell you what, though. If Nick ever honestly speaks, if he does speak, I think that he's going to tell the truth. And I don't think the truth is going to be the same as Gypsy's. And that's what Gypsy's afraid of when it comes to Nick. That's why he can rot. Yeah. I think he's done trying to be her Prince Charming. He feels used, no doubt. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Tell me what you think. Do you think the autopsy's been messed with? Do you think it's the true autopsy? And think about it. We're going on Gypsy's word and whatever she put in Nick's head. And she already messed with his head, already played with his head, already went back and forth, already drove him crazy, already confused him. She could have played loud music at the scene. She could have had screams in the background. She could have easily messed with his head. He could have easily had not committed that crime, but thought he did. Red, yes. Blue, no. Pixie! Pixie Pix! What'd your mama do, Pixie? Pixie Pix, my girl, Pixie! Yeah, put the knife down. You're your mama's daughter. Yeah. Guys, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Take care. I appreciate you.